As we progress in our walk with Christ, it's a good idea to get to know God a lot better. And there's so much to learn about Him that will just take a little bit at a time. And through time, we'll gain more and more understanding about who He is and how important of a part He is in our life. So we'll start off with God is a three-part being. He is the Father, who is the Creator, the Son, who is Jesus Christ, who came to earth in bodily form and showed us a way of living, and the Holy Spirit, who is the voice of God that when Jesus went to heaven, He left us the Holy Spirit to guide us in our life. And so then we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, God lives in a place called heaven, which is above. And that's where Jesus is now. And Jesus is going to come back to get the Christians that are still here and those who are buried in the graves and didn't have the opportunity to go to heaven until Jesus opened the gates. So there's going to be a lot going on at the end so that we have the opportunity to go to heaven. So if we die before Jesus comes back, then it's all about how we live our lives to see if we get to go to heaven. And heaven is described in the book of Revelation, and we'll go over that later too. And it's just a blissful place where our spirit and soul get to spend eternity, because at some point they'll leave our body and we'll have to spend eternity somewhere, either in heaven, which is bliss, or a place called hell, which is damnation and burning sulfur, just a terrible place for our spirit and soul to spend eternity. No one has ever seen God's face. He has come to earth or in different forms at different times, which are shared throughout the Bible and testimonies of people. He's come in the form of a dove, in a cloud. His hand has been seen, his back has been seen, but no one has ever seen his face. So a lot of people question the existence of God because no one has seen Him. But we don't have to feel God to know that He's alive and He's a part of us, because we can feel Him in us. When we have moments of calmness, and if we're in a dire situation and we just need help at the moment, and we can pray and talk to Him, and just miraculous things happen to us. And He'll protect us from anybody or anything that comes against us. So He says, fear me and fear me only, because if we fear man, then it shows a lack of faith in God, because He says He can protect us from anything, anyone, and everyone that comes against us. And what He does is He puts a barrier around us where we do become untouchable. We do become very protected. And it's through our love and faithfulness to Him that we get this protection. So as we learn that the only way man can harm us is if God allows him to come against us. So another thing about God is to ask Him for the things we want in our heart. What's our heart desires? And are we living a good, peaceful, proper life of helping others, loving others, giving hope, encouraging others, and not focusing on just ourselves? And if we're focusing on ourselves all the time and we ask God for something, well, He'll think, or He may think that we're not really appreciating that everything we do have comes from Him, because without His okay, we have nothing. We have no physical abilities to do anything. We don't have any mental abilities to do anything. And when we understand everything comes from Him, and we work hard, that He will give us the desires of our heart. So this is just kind of scratching the surface on what God's role is, or how He affects our life on a daily basis, on a continual basis, not just here and there through the day or through the week. He lives in us. So when we understand that, then we'll receive more and more blessings, which overall is peace and hope, and we begin to encourage people more. So we'll continue talking about God as often as we can, and talk to Him about your friend. Talk to Him with your friends, your family. Just let's get the word out and share our love. So you have a great, blessed day. Peace and love to you, and we'll talk with you soon.